Noxus will rise.
The axe suited you, Darius. The weapon of a simple...
Hello everybody and welcome to my video on armor pen, magic pen, armor resistance, magic resistance, all that stuff. We're gonna go through all that stuff in this video, okay? I recently put up a community post asking what you guys wanted to see. A lot of you guys said resistance stuff and like that, okay? A lot of you guys upvoted that, a lot of you guys don't really know how that works. Now, if you're new to the game, watch this, you'll learn a lot. If you're old to the game, watch this, you'll learn a lot. There's a lot of things you guys don't understand and there's a lot of things you think you understand. And a lot of you guys get it wrong, and even if you have 90% of it right, you still get a little bit of it wrong, okay? So, before I begin, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to leave a comment. Tell me about stuff. I like hearing back from you guys, okay? That's really helpful also for the algorithm. It makes my stuff more popular. Now, before I begin, as well, I want to say one little detail. Armor pen and magic pen work the exact same way. The exact same way. There's no difference between them. So if I'm talking about armor pen in one side and then I start talking about magic resist, they're the exact same. They have the exact same functionality. Despite the fact that this says lethality and this says magic penetration flat, just so you are aware, lethality technically doesn't exist. By that, lethality gives you armor pen. I don't know why the website says lethality. That's a little bit distracting. Lethality gives you 60% of its value in armor pen at level 1, and it gives you 100% of its value in armor pen at level 18. Lethality by itself doesn't do anything, it merely gives to you armor pen. Okay? Now, resistance reduction is from auras and debuffs. A lot of you guys Google this, and you look at the wiki and you see the reduction, and you see it going flat before percentage. And you look at this and you say, oh my god, so the flat penetration goes before the percentage. They don't stack very well. Well, no. Actually, these are auras and debuffs. Reductions are not penetration. These are aura and debuffs. I drew a little picture, and this is a perfect picture, okay? And I hope this gets my point across. Black is you, red is the enemy, blue is your ally. If I have black cleaver, and I hit the enemy with black cleaver, this will, you can see the arrow going down, their armor will go down. And what is armor? Armor is, what color is armor? Red? It's good. See, their armor is going down, okay? Now my ally can then hit them and do more damage because their armor has been reduced. What has it been reduced by? An armor reduction percentage. So that would go on second. If I'm playing Jarvan and I hit them with my Q, that's a spear thing, that reduces their armor by a percentage. My ally hits them harder. If I'm playing Renekton and I use my second Rage E, that reduces their armor. If I have Black Cleaver on anybody, that reduces their armor. So this helps everybody. Now let's go to penetration, which is here. Armor penetration percentage, and then I'm going to call this armor pen. So magic penetration percentage, and then magic pen. Now think of these as a glowing penetration aura around you, okay? You have an aura of penetration around you. This doesn't help allies. Allies don't hit enemies harder because you have more penetration. It just affects all outgoing damage. So, if I was to hit someone who had their armor reduced by Black Cleaver, I would then go into these. Realistically, these first two shouldn't even be in the order of calculations. Because once you go to penetration, this is just affecting my damage towards that target. That target has been debuffed. That is entirely separate from me doing damage to them. Think about it like that. And I'm hoping, in a way, this picture does help you guys understand. Penetration is the aura around you. It doesn't debuff anyone. Black Cleaver, abilities that reduce armor, those reduce their armor. Once you go to armor penetration, it does a percentage, then the flat. So if I was to avoid staff and sorcery shoes, and I was to hit an enemy with 100 magic resist, it would first do the 40%, reducing them from 100 to 60, then it would do the 18 flat, reducing them from 60 to 42. That's why magic resist can particularly feel bad, because it gets reduced so heavily so quickly that even if you have gobloads of it and it's very overvalued on items, magic resistance is expensive to buy, and even being expensive to buy, it tends to not do very much. Now, The next thing I drew up is this little graph here. Now, what does this mean? Effectively, you guys can read through this if you want. I don't want to bore all of you guys with all this knowledge. But effectively, if I have 10 armor, then 10 armor penetration increases the damage by about 10%. But really, it's like, yeah, it's about 10%. You'll do about 10% more damage if they had only 10 armor and you had 10 armor penetration, okay? If they had 100 armor and you had 10 armor penetration, you would get about a 5.2% damage increase. What does that mean? If my enemy is stacking flat penetration, then flat resistances will make that flat penetration worth significantly less. Contrary to popular belief, flat penetration does not counter resistances. Resistances counter flat penetration. Does everybody understand that? If my enemy was to build Ghost Blade with a Prowler's Claw and stack a gobload of armor pen, a single chain vest would give a significant damage reduction to their damage. So why doesn't everybody do that? Because of the next thing. Percent resistance counters resistance stacking. Now, I did the math. I don't have it in front of me, so you'll just have to trust me on this one, okay? If I had 50 magic resist, Void Staff would give you a 15% damage increase. 50 magic resist, Void Staff would give you about a 15% damage increase, okay? However, if I was to have 200 magic resist, Void Staff would give you about a 36% damage increase. Now, for those of you guys who know that this formula means the less resistances you have, the more flat penetration is worth, because it does percent pen, then flat pen, that means the percent pen will reduce my resistances considerably, and then apply the flat amount. The flat amount will then be worth more because I have less. Does everybody understand that? In effect, this means in the short game, resistance stacking is stronger. That's why tanks and tanky champions like Leona are extremely powerful early game and can just tank insane amount of damage and generally find themselves very difficult to kill. In the long game, so once you get to 3, 4, 5 items, penetration will win because flat pen into, or sorry, percent pen into flat pen will generally outscale any amount of resistances. So short game, tanky champions are better. Long game, damage champions are better. Okay? So, does everybody understand this? I hope I've explained this a lot, and I hope I've explained this very well. Now, there's one little thing I want to say. Actually, there's two more little things I want to say. Your resistances cannot go negative. There is only one possible way for the system to allow your you to go negative on resistances, okay? And that's if a reduction aura, a flat reduction aura or debuff could somehow reduce you to negative. To my knowledge, there is no way that can happen. And to my knowledge, unless there's some space future where Riot puts out a new item that reduces magic resist by 50 in an aura around you, I don't think that will ever happen again. So, resistances can't go negative. I don't believe they ever will again. Now, because of how percentages work and how multiplication works, these two being different, magic resistance reduction percentage and magic penetration percentage, even though they apply one and then the other, because of how percentages work, it's basically the same thing. That's also one thing I forgot to mention, but I'm going to mention it. Penetration stacks multiplicatively. If I have 40% pen, and then I have 40% pen, I do not get 80% pen, I get 64% pen. That means some champions like Evelynn, or some people who build Black Cleaver, and then Last Whisper, they don't get to remove 100% of your resistances. That's not how it works. They'll remove the overwhelming majority of them, and if you aren't stacking it, they'll likely reduce you to 0, but they're not going to remove all of them, especially not in a tank, okay? So you can't get 100% armor pen. Realistically, I think the most is Evelyn can get like to the high 60%, and that's about it. Okay? So I think that should explain everything. I think that should cover everything. I hope my art helped you guys understand some things. I hope I let you guys understand everything. So if it did, great. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate you all for watching. Appreciate you all for getting through here. Please subscribe to my Patreon with the link in the description. It's extremely helpful. It helps me a lot. Every subscriber, even if you're coming at $3, supports me considerably. If you're not going to do that, that's fine. I appreciate you for liking, for subscribing, even just watching. Helps me out a lot. So thank you, everybody. I hope you all have a great day, great night. I hope this helped everybody. Thank you all. Bye-bye.